chaos, pandemonium, bedlam, disorder. These are all that Carnage, the Anarch, a master manipulator and sadistic killer, has ever cared for. The horrifying and unexpected can cause desperation in any soul, and in reaction to these events, individuals are forced to behave in ways they normally never would to survive. Thus, they bring about novelty, and to witness this is Carnage's driving force. Why he is like this is a mystery beyond even the gods. Not even they truly understand what happened when the firstborn were created. Each being birthed from that experiment was unique in temperament and desires. There were angelic beings of sublime beauty and purity of spirit, creatures that defied any categorization, and beasts of undeniably malignant heart and monstrous bearing. After the Dance of Darkness forever drove a wedge of hatred between Lumaya and Siroth, and the Great Divorce began, no one who knew Carnage was surprised that he took the Shadow God's side. For years he had been a sower of discord between mortals and immortals alike, a malicious experimenter whose caprice resulted in the spilling of blood and the toppling of keeps. His allegiance to Siroth was not something born of any kind of loyalty. Carnage merely saw that the gods' plans were by far the most entertaining. The Dance of Darkness had bred all manner of slobbering, predatory beasts and malformed creatures that wreaked havoc wherever they tread or slithered. The prospect of the Shadow God creating more and more without check was one Carnage relished. Lumaya's relentless penchant for order and regularity was something so painfully dull to him that the thought of it playing any dominant role in the world was the only thing he truly feared. Siroth suffered setback after setback in the centuries that followed. The banishment spell saw the immortals cast from Teleria itself, a disaster only turned around when the later Dragonkin invasion of Anathrad failed, and the demons could use the mortal bodies of captured soldiers to return to Teleria. Carnage took great pleasure in choosing the most honorable captive he could find to possess, to make himself a demon spawn. The first great war, which followed the demon spawn's invasion of the mortal world, ended in catastrophic defeat. Carnage was furious for a time, for failure stalled plans of his that would cause untold mayhem and conflict, but the debacle proved to be even more enjoyable to him. Siroth's rage and the frustrations of his fellow demon spawn were amusing to a degree he hadn't anticipated. Ultimately, what were setbacks for Siroth were, at most, partly so for Carnage. The capture of the Brimstone Gate and the Shadow Gods, creation of innumerable portals gave easy access to Teleria from Anathrad, and ever since Carnage has taken great advantage of this. To the dwarves, during the collapse of their great under-empire, Carnage was known as the Grinning Flame, who laughed while trapping detachments of warriors in caved-in tunnels with slavering demon spawn hounds, and using torrents of balefire to force skittering demon spawn toward ranks of dwarven crossbowmen. When Siroth's forces surged across the Winterlands to seize the Waters of Life, Carnage took the form of Nor refugees. He went from village to village, telling the inhabitants that their neighbors sought to betray them, weakening Telerian unity. In the face of demon spawn hordes, Carnage laughed as the ice golem tore through the great and good of the Confederation of Frostheim. He delighted as elf fought elf in their tumultuous and bloody civil war. Lady Mikaj herself called him the burner of webs for his feeding of false intelligence to her network of operatives, and turning many for and against her. In the build-up to the Red Crusade, Carnage whispered into the ears of skinwalkers and orcs, as well as Sacred Order warriors and lords of Kerok, stirring up mutual hatred and encouraging unprovoked attacks on all. Carnage cares not for who wins or loses wars in Teleria, nor in the endless politicking of Anathrad. He lives only for the chaos they cause. The conflicts are but a game. the entire world, a board upon which he moves all the pieces he wishes according to ever-changing rules, entirely his own. Many demon spawn, as well as Telerians who know of Carnage's existence, believe that he has interfered with Cyroth's own designs too. Hypotheses have spread that he encouraged demon spawn in Teleria to take no part in the Third Great War and to turn on Lady Mikaj in Yakai. It may have even been Carnage's idea that Cyroth attempt to force Lumaya to dance with him millennia ago. Carnage neither confirms nor denies any of these allegations. As for Cyroth himself, as much as the Anarch might be a dangerous force, his desire for greater chaos is one predictable thing about him, and Cyroth is, if nothing else, a seeker of novelty himself. All in all, for every injury Carnage may have inflicted upon the god of shadow, he has inflicted 10 upon his foes. Carnage's latest experiment is with the free city of Sintranos to see how wounded dogs might bite if someone rattled their cage. Devastated during the Gaelan War and never recovered, it was eclipsed by its sister city of Delanos in the conflict's aftermath. It was a place of malaise and quiet despair, full of the hopeless and the lethargic, making it ripe for the Anarch's attention. As he saw it, its people needed something to stir them to life from their moribund, impoverished existence. The medium he chose was a mediocre mage of middling age called Ammius, who was torn between the safety of the city he knew and the sense that out in the wider world something better waited for him. The man was weak and open to the honeyed words, and promises of power Carnage fed to him in disguise. What happened next caused Sintranos to be cursed beyond recognition and brought about a veritable maelstrom of confused panic, turmoil, and death that threatens to draw in forces unnumbered.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast. I hope that you are all having a wonderful, wonderful Sunday afternoon. I hope that you guys enjoyed that little intro that we had playing Carnage's storyline from in the game. Let us know in the comments down below or in chat what you guys actually thought about it. Did you like it or not? If you did miss it, don't worry. We will be posting it up. We're going to start doing a few more of these every week. So I hope that you will check in on those, and we're gonna mess around with a couple of the storylines as well too. That said, we got a lot of things to talk about today. I want to discuss what I'm calling the endgame Titus effect. We're going to be discussing Shredder and why he's so weak and why we don't believe Plarium will actually buff him, and if they do, what they might change. And then we have a lot more to discuss. But before we get too far into it, let's go ahead. Let me introduce my host for today's podcast. In the top little red box, we've got the free-to-play content creator, Mr. Final Campachi. Ken, what is going on, bro? How are you?
Very good. I did some IRL stream today. We visited the Cotton Castle again. It was quite a fun. And I've been looking for you, because there was some texts. I think they are like Greek or the old ancient Greek, I don't know. You can translate us, like useless said, like I'm gonna ask to the pet page in that, I don't know what's that mean. I don't know why he called you like that. Anyway. Besides that, I'm doing good. A little bit neck problem. My neck is hurting last couple of days. It's still hurting. I don't know why. But I hope you guys doing good too. Good to be there on the podcast. Cannot wait to talk about more race stuff. Let's go.
Awesome. Next up, giving us a live arena top 100 perspective, Mr. Gestel Gaming. Gestel, what's going on, bro? How are you?
Doing great, man. Slaying away at this Titan event. I just got to 1,010 points.
Okay.
Still trying to decide if I want to go for that 1,500 or not. I got the Lala, so I'm happy about that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm right around where you are.
Yeah, I've kind of been looking at them like, and we'll touch in a minute here about one of the events.
Yeah, like
forcing us
progress
to do.
or not. 500 is
Yeah.
a lot, you know what I mean? Yeah, so
Yeah, it's kind of like, do I want to spend the extra resources or not?
yeah, exactly.
Next up, giving us a 5-headed strategy on how to play Raid Shadow Legends, we've got Mr. JR Star 3. Jay, what's going on, bro? How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. Great to be back, yeah, we definitely have some interesting things. I just been, grinding these. I thought I was gonna get a break, and then we were all like, "Oh, we're going right back into double grind mode, right?" We gotta save a lot because there's a lot of events that they haven't shown us. They've shown in the player and play a little bit of what's up to come, but there's other stuff that people are speculating. Let's see if Plarium does the opposite. They say they're not doing certain things. Let's see if they do the reverse, because I'm very curious to see that. But honestly, yeah, man, I'm just excited just to talk about the stuff, and I'm enjoying Raid, and I'm very happy with this collaboration. I think most players are. It's bringing a lot of people, and yeah, let's get into it.
All right. Next up, all the way from Texas, the Daddy Dab Master himself, Mr. Zero Brew Zero. What's going on, sir? How are you?
Daddy Dab Master is funny.
I figured you like that.
Yeah. It's good. Good week. Things are going good. My team is terrible. My Clemson Tigers are 1-2 now, so
Oh, yeah.
not a good season with such high expectations. But I will say Notre Dame is 0-2. So if you're a big Notre Dame fan, they are getting crushed in life right now. But yeah, so life's been good. And following along on the points, I don't know exactly where I'm at. I'm just grinding along. I haven't missed a single thing yet, which when we get into the topic, I will be glad to share my thoughts on that.
Awesome. And last but not least, giving us an endgame low spend perspective, Mr. MXPJE. PJ, what is going on, bro? How are you?
Doing pretty good. Kind of chilling, hanging out. Not going super hard for the Titan event. Probably just gonna try to get the Lala maybe a little bit more. So I've been skipping some stuff, kind of taking a chill pill, getting ready for some of these new events and stuff that we are expecting to come here in the future. And also should be getting a new fusion here soon, which should be exciting. I know a lot of people are hoping it's bad so they can skip it. But they've been doing a lot of really good fusions this year, so we'll see what happens.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I think the fusion, we've probably got about a week. So probably after this week, they'll announce it and they'll give us like 3 or 4 days notice. So I'd be prepared for that. If you don't have shards and stuff, start saving, because they're going to do that. Funny thing. So yesterday I'm sitting here and I'm hanging out with Copium out in the Discord. And I was just ripping some shards. I was bored and I was just ripping some shards. And my daughter comes in and says, "Daddy, I want to open up some too." And at this point, all I had was primals left. And I was like, shit, do I let her open them? Do I not? And so being a good dad, I did. And the result was this.
Bruh.
She did this on a 10 pop.
Oh, wow.
She did this on a 10 pop. And I screamed like a little girl. She's looking and she's like, "What's wrong with you?"
Oh my God.
It's great. The only bad part is on an alt account. I was like, because I'm trying to save as much as I can. And yeah, I mean, I've literally had a serious thought of, do I want to main this account now instead of my main? Right? Because Nell is just so crazy. But yeah, it was, then my son comes on. He's like, "Well, that's not fair if she opened up and I can't. I want to open up some too." So he opens up like 20 and just gets absolutely destroyed back to back with just rares. And I was like, bro, you suck. Get out of here. But yeah, so that happened. Anybody out there? But yeah,
Do you have a soul for her?
I don't. And honestly, like, I've got her decked out pretty decently. For the account, the way it's stacked. But without a soul, even with Arachna Elixir, she's not as good as you want it to be. Like, you, even a 2-star or 1-star soul makes a huge difference on her. Trying to get her, you know, to be that bannable pick. But we'll hopefully get one tomorrow. And speaking about tomorrow, let's talk a little bit about the 2X that's coming. They're baiting us hard, right? Because we're all like, oh,
Can
we're
we
going
talk
to
about the
save.
current? Sorry, can we talk about the current tweaks? The primal tweaks, like, because
What's there really to talk about? I mean, it's not really a 2x. But
I mean, after it's gonna be weird after you show that picture, but I mean, Polarium. What you trying to do?
they're
like-
trying to milk you.
Yeah, but who care about legendary champion coming from Primal Shard? Like, let's get honest there. And it's been already 3 months. It's time for the tweaks, real tweaks. I got
That's
such a
true.
disappointed to do. I have a 50. I never been a 50 before. Like,
You've
even
never
like,
had
let's say
50?
like, I opened them. It said real tweaks. I opened them. I got nada. Okay, I'm like, okay, man. At least, you know, because keep saying them is like disturbing me. I don't like that. I want to open them, Polarium. Okay, release some real tweaks. God damn it.
let me ask chat, how many of you guys pulled primals yesterday on this, you know, 2x? I mean, listen, it's a 2x primals. They're legit on putting that out. It's just not a 2x mythicals, right? And I'm reading chat here. Chat's like, no, not doing it. Although it looks like Big Head Mike, which shout out to him. I played against him with Live Arena. It was fun. He knew right from the start he didn't have a shot with Taurus Marechka, but that was the Cavalax pick right there. He banned that over them. But yeah, everybody's like, oh no, Rip Rad did open some. Rip Rad, did you get anything good, man? Did you get yourself a Nell or a Lazorius? But yeah, big shout out to Big Head Mike. I know he's streaming over right now too. So yeah, I get you. We do need a 2x for primals, but think of it this way. The longer they hold on to it, the more shards you're going to build, and chances are you get more mythicals at that point, right? If they wait off for like another month or two, you probably get like 5 or 6 more, maybe, you know, 10, and that's being generous. So
I'm laughing because I looked over as you were saying that. The look on Ken's eyes as he looked over at the camera, he like rolled his eyes. It was awesome.
Oh, hey, we got Sam Solstice over on the YouTube side. Big shout out to her. Also, we are going to talk about
what's up,
this in
Sam?
just a minute here, but she's doing a big challenge for Hydra. Sorry, not Chimera. For Hydra Epics Only Quick Battles. Make sure you guys go check that out in the RSL leaderboards. Get yourself some bragging rights. We are gonna, you know, I want to get the dedication from these guys today. I'm gonna put them on the spot. But yeah, I agree. The current 2x is absolutely trash.
I mean,
it's not mythicals.
Look, I have an idea for them. Like, if they are going to do like this fake 2x, at least make that like 10x mythical, you know, so you can scam the people. This
you know,
is
I think you're right. I think they should do a progressive chance for it, right?
yeah.
And I know that content creator chat was talking about, hey, you know, it's about time to do a 10x and 15x. So I think you're right. If they do decide to go like with this model, they definitely need to do a progressive.
At least
chance
will
for it.
make a little bit sense, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
correctly, like, it's funny.
Right. I agree.
Sorry.
I agree.
We can
No,
continue, sir.
You're right. You're right. Chat, would you guys support when they do this 2x legendary and epics from the primal shards? Would you support them doing the you know, maybe a guaranteed or maybe a progressive chance? What would you guys like to see? So real quick then, let's find out. Any of you guys pulled on this 2x? Zero?
No, and I think they're skating thin ice. I see it's advertised very clearly, but in my personal opinion, this is false advertisement.
Okay.
And again, this is we've mentioned it before, but kind of them weaponizing their communication strategy. Hey, 2x, come do it, come do it, come do it. And I'm sure at least one person out of the millions that they had playing this game or whatever pulled this thinking they were getting 2x on primals, and then they didn't. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean it's clearly advertised there. So I'm playing devil's advocate on what I just said. It says epics and legendaries, but I would like to see only in all caps there or something like. Yeah, it's a little false advertising to me.
Okay. I am Joe Kane, actually pulled an Alaz, so congratulations to you with a Feral. That is an awesome combination to get. That's juicy. PJ, what about you? Did you open up or are you still hoarding?
Yeah, I'm saving. I didn't pull any shards for the event. I'm kind of agreeing with these guys. I just feel like this is just like a classic like thing for early players or players that just don't know much about the game and they just see 2x, let me just pull my shards right away.
Glowing, right? Glowing.
Yeah. They see glowing, they see 2x, they don't really come in here and actually read it, and they get debated, and then they're like, oh my goodness, now I have to buy shards and primals for the next event. So yeah, I feel like it's a little shady, but no, I saved. I didn't pull anything.
Okay. Gessel, did you acquire any new mythicals today or this weekend?
No mythicals. I did pull like 3 because I needed a couple points, and I got another big one, so it was turned on at least, I guess.
So the 2x was turned on, just not anything good for the mythicals.
Not for mythicals.
Jay, what about you?
No, I barely have any. I save them as much as I can.
Jay's like, yeah, I save them as much as I can, and then when I get bored, I do what Blazin does and just YOLO them. So yeah, no, I agree. I think progressive chance behind this or guaranteed. I definitely think we're at the stage where we really need to, kind of have this issue addressed by Plarium and get some of these events done or combined with it, right? Back to the 2x for the Deck of Fate. And again, I've been doing good. I've been trying to save some resources because I know that the guarantees are going to be coming. And Plarium puts out the event for the Mortal Soul Stones. And it's hard because the problem now is this is where we got to come up and figure out, well, do we stop for the Donnie event, right? Or do we keep going? Do we keep going for this 5-star soul, or do I stop because they're locking? I believe it's, what is it, 200?
No, 100, I think.
Is it okay? So if 100. It's only 100, that's not bad. Depending on what you've missed. It doesn't say here, and I'm pretty sure. I think it's not going to be only 100 because we really only have about a week left.
From the videos, I remember it being just 100.
Okay. So if it is just 100, then that's not too bad. I can still hold on
100.
And save. Okay.
It's 100.
So it is.
It's only 100?
Saying that 100 Titan point, yeah.
So good.
Okay.
So good.
Because I'm reading some chat. People are saying no such being says 160 pizza points.
It's just 100.
It's just 100. Okay. That said, I guess maybe skipping it isn't going to be as a big of an issue for us. I haven't skipped any of the shard events yet for the Donnie Soul, just because I've been really, really stingy with it. But I'm thinking about skipping this Dungeon Divers, which is basically going to make sure that, I go from 250 that I can miss down to 180. That said, are we looking to open souls or soul stones on this 2x? Because now they are getting to the point where they want us to use our resources. So they're giving us both a deck event, which we'll be able to pin the rewards and get some of the relic material. And then they're giving us the boosted chances. So, they're essentially doing what they should do when we want to pull these. So that said, Ken, are you pulling or are you holding back?
I'm not pulling, man. So there's a couple of reasons for that. Titan event, in my opinion, is the weak. Like Legendary Relics they give us is not that good. Donnie 5-star, I don't care personally. So basically, for me, there is no reason to open. Yes, there is a 2x. You can get some crafting material as well, right? But there is also very high chance we can get similar event in the future by the guarantee champion. And if this guarantee champion going to be good, I want to save as much as resources for that champion, not for that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's why.
Fair. I agree. I'm still trying to figure out where everybody's getting the information that says it's only 100 because I'm looking.
It's the
through-
announcement they give us.
Okay.
on
Okay. So it's
CCG.
under the announcements. That would help out if I checked out the Discord then. Jay, what about you?
I mean, I might. I'm considering, but isn't there another thing you can do to get Deck of Fate points, pizza points as well? It's not just I don't. From what I remember, it's not just only pulling soul stones. It might be something else. as
Champion
well.
training. It's a training.
Right. So I might do a little bit of that and maybe pull like 1 or 2 stones and just to see if I can get lucky because there are some nice flower materials. Maybe I might build out some discovery relics or something, get lucky. I don't really still have a mythical, so I'm just trying every little thing to even get more Legos. I think I have 3 or 4 Legos. That's it, all relics. So anything that I can help, I'm trying. But I don't want to waste too much because we know they're gonna have another event later on where you're gonna need a lot of your soul stones. So yeah, I would definitely save if you don't need to go for this deck of trap event.
Right. It looks like we're going to be getting some basalt, a primal. I wonder if they're going to put a 4-star basalt in this to entice us. I think they just might because they really, really want to drain our resources. Chat, what do you guys think? Do we think that it's going to be a 3-star or 4-star basalt, or do you guys think it's just going to be 1 or 2? PJ, what about you? Are you going to be going for this event?
I've been saving my soul stones for a while. At least my mediums. I just use my small
Hold
ones. I've been
on.
saving.
It's not a while. I watched you with your last soul stone pull video, and bro,
I
you're
just said my
sitting on, like,
mediums.
80. You're sitting on like 80
Yeah, I've been
between what you
saving.
have saved up in the reserve. That's not saving. That's fucking hoarding.
Tomato, tomato.
No, it's not.
I've been saving.
This right here is saving. I got 14 and 4. You've got like 50K up here and like 40 here.
You gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been hoarding, saving, hoarding. Depends on who you ask. So I could pull a few, but I think this is kind of bait. These events are going to come back around. This isn't the first or last time we're going to see these events, but an event for Leonardo, a limited time champion, we're only going to see that one time. So I'm going to bank on trying to get that. Maybe I'll do 10 or 20 just because I have a bunch to see if I can get lucky because it is a really good event. As far as like the souls, and you're getting the deck of fate with it. There's a pin in it, which is nice. I'm pretty sure there's mythical relics or mythical materials in the pin. So if you get some RNG, that's pretty good. But yeah, generally I would recommend most people to save and wait for October. There's probably going to be some type of overlapping guaranteed with souls in it.
Right. And it only being from Immortal Soul Stones, it's kind of like those are really the big points. Because not a lot of us are going to be sitting on Eternal Soul Stones unless you're clearing some channels or something like that, or decide that you want to spend $20 on a Eternal Soul Stone. Gessel, what about you?
Well, to me, the appealing part is the 2x. If it's only 100, I actually thought it was 200, and I was a bit nervous because I missed 50 on one of the champ trainings, but I've gotten everything else, so I'm minus 50 right now, right? And you get 250. I think you can miss 250. So I thought this was going to be 200, so I was a bit nervous and felt like I was going to have to pull, but if it's only 100, I don't feel like I have to pull. The thing is, I have 2 naked mythical champs that I use all the freaking time in Live Arena, more so Embry. And like I really need to get a soul for those guys. So 2x, I don't know, maybe I'll pull just for that. And like I don't have a whole, like I could probably do a 10 pop. Like so I don't have a whole lot. But like everyone else has said, if like I feel like we've been pretty much warned that there's going to be an event including Soul Stones coming up for a guaranteed champ. I think that's more important. So
Right.
I would recommend holding on to it. To me, the 2x is what I like. When I heard 2x, I'm like, ooh, I need some souls.
Yeah. So I'm just reading their Discord announcement, which says it is going to be 100 pizza points. So yeah, it's definitely a kind of guaranteed skip. I don't think I'll be doing it. Zero. What about yourself?
Yeah. So first of all, Bronco wants to know where we can all buy your hat. He wanted to make sure.
That was a Christmas present from my daughter's godmother last year. But we're putting the final touches on the store, so you guys will be able to get customized beanies and shirts from these guys too. So I know I'm working on it a little bit at a time.
Nice. Yeah, so the thoughts on this is I think y'all are all hitting some things. I think some other notes about this event for those that are watching, assuming my memory is working right in my age, now that I'm a year older, that also this is one that you can pin your card flips. So you can pin your the purple ones or whatever and get better chances at the stuff. But yeah, it is 100 pizza points. The other thing, and it was on the note in game that you had up, Blazin, is it is 5 or 6. So that's awesome, 2x, but it's not rarity. And they did say that in the note. Right, says right there, note, boost only applies to rank, not rarity. So so you're probably going to get a 2x on your rare. You're going to get a 5-star rare.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things.
I hate those, bro.
Yeah, to be fair, they are disclaiming it, so I would not say this is
false
advertisement.
And to your point earlier, sorry to speak over you, but to your point earlier, I was on the stream and I had very loosely read the 2x primals. Like in the morning, they had sent us the information in the CC chat. So when and I knew I could talk about it in my stream, so I was like, "Oh, and there's 2x primals this weekend," and everyone's like, "No, it's Legos." I'm like, "Oh, well, that's a bit of a relief," Like I thought like you, I thought maybe it was a 2x Reds. Yeah, the fine print's annoying.
The fine print's annoying. So I say all that for the community that's watching and everybody that's watching. Just be careful because it's clear they're trying to bait because they did, forward drop what they are eventually going to give us. And we know historically they did give us card flip events, and some of those were from Souls, Freya, and I think Groucho or whatever his name was, the Diablo looking dude from the last event that we just had. And there's probably one other one I'm not remembering. So, and I will say, Blazin, I know you mentioned that before when we got off the stream last time, but they gave us a guaranteed, that dude. They gave us a guaranteed event for all the demon ones from last time, right?
Yeah.
So, I feel like this primal and of course this deck of fate is a flip. And then the other thing I'll just say is like I'm relieved. I've gone for every single one of the pizza points so far. So when this comes along, I was like, oh, like in my gut, I was like, oh, I still have like 250 I can kind of skip or whatever. I don't necessarily have to do this champ training event and go grab those 150 points. But I went ahead and did it. And then I was like, oh, super relieved. Zero Brew went for everything that we needed to go for because I can clearly skip this one. I still got 150 in the bank that I can skip in the future. So I'm happy with that.
I also feel like we're going to be kind of tricked or duped at the end with like a fusion warm-up event that's going to have some of those points in because usually they do that, right? Let's go to Final Compachi. Ken, are you going to be pulling some soul stones?
I answered that already.
Oh, you did. Sorry.
You asked me first, yeah. No worries.
All right. So yeah, I mean, the immortal, if it was mortal soul stones, if it was the little boys, I'd say, yeah, definitely go for it. I've been saving them.
We just had one for smalls.
Yeah. And I'd be okay with just smalls because I have no problem popping the smalls. The smalls I can pop any point in time because they're not. What are they going to give you? 80 points.
Did you save from last time?
I did.
Okay.
Let me say one more.
So why would you pull them now versus last time?
I pulled some last time too.
Oh, it doesn't. You still got 150.
Let me say one more thing also. Keep in mind they have traditionally done the sliding scale on the points and values of those card flips. So I think traditionally or the most egregious one was the Freya at only 60 points a stone or something like that.
I think it was 80.
So I think it was 60. I think it was 60. That was
yeah.
what was. Now they have done that. Some that were 80. I think Groucho was like 80 or 90 or
Right.
something. I can't remember. That's the thing, is you can't ever remember these things, but just keep that also in your pocket if you are definitely trying to go for that card flip event. You don't know how much they're going to give you per stone. So like PJ sitting on the 80, he might have to pull all 80 just to guarantee himself that champion. Or, you know, he gets lucky and they offer 100 points a thing, and he gets and I'm using the small, but you know, it scales on all of them. But you know, so just another warning. Just, hey, I might be able to squeak a few in. And I'm with Gestel. Gestel, you made a great point. Empress and other champions, we need to get souls for those champions to make them viable in the end game. If you don't have the soul and you don't get the blessing, you don't get the stuff, they're not as viable when you want to use them.
I mean, just having lightning,
yeah.
a 1-star lightning cage, bro, like something,
Yeah.
like it just makes such a difference.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe it's time that they do guaranteed souls based on like 100 mortal soul stones or something like that. I think, you know, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy like a 5 or 6 star. You could do like a 4-star, which is pretty crucial for most nukers at like 100 mortal soul stones. And I think, I don't know, chat, would you guys support that? Would you want to see 100 mortal soul stones for like a 4-star, you know, legendary or mythical or nuker type of situation? You know, honestly, there's a whole big slew of issues with the primals. We need a better mercy system. We need a boosted chances on rarity, but yeah, we could sit here and we could QQ about this all day long, because we'll all have complaints about it. But that said, you know, it being immortal soul stones, I would definitely stay away. If it was mortal soul stones, like I said, these are much less value. Eternal soul stones, I just wouldn't pull them unless I really have a champion to go for. So,
And I think it's only immortals this time.
correct. It's only immortal soul stones, which usually they've been doing like mortals and immortals, and I think the last time was just immortal soul stones, not immortals. So, you know, and I think the one time before that they did a 2x on eternal soul stones, just eternal ones, which again, I feel like, because the ranking, or not the ranking, but the percentage chance to be able to pull is a 25% chance. So now you're doubling it. You're giving us a 50-50. I'd rather see, if you're going to do a 2x on a eternal soul stone, make it a 2x on a rarity, not, you know, give me a 20% chance to get a higher on a mythical and like a 60% chance to get it on a legendary, and just don't even worry about epics. That's really what I would love to see at a $20 cost, $25 cost per soul stone. It's kind of crazy. So, moving on from the next, I want to talk a little bit about Shredder, because big thanks to Big Papa Drock here, who showed us that no matter how much gear you have, no matter how much of a Kraken or a whale you have, a bad champion is still a bad champion. Now, to Shredder's credit, he is very niche in some of the counters that he can provide, but is he good enough to FOMO, right? And I want to clear this up real quick, because when Plarium does these events, I feel like people get sucked into them, and you know, the FOMO sets in strong because they're limited time events. But a lot of these champions are not going to be game changing, right? I mean, taking a look at like the Blade Master event, there was, I want to say, I'm gonna be bold here and say like one champion, which was the Nargari Archer, that was probably the best out of all of them. Yes, the other ones did have some case uses here and there, but I think as for account impact, the Archer was the biggest one. And then after Hydra was rebalanced, it changed. And, you know, at least for me, I don't even use her anymore, right? Not for that. I use her for Centranos and stuff. And I know Ken got, I think, what do you get? 2 of her?
No, one.
Just one? Okay. But, you know, the FOMO sets in because the champions are limited and we expect them to do something. Now, I know with Fatalis, they did a very small tweak to his multipliers, but I want to talk about, should we be expecting a buff to Shredder? Yes or no? And then, is it logical for us to pull our shards for him when he's a limited time champion? Like, do we let the FOMO come into us because it is the limited time champion? So let me start off with Ken first.
I mean, if they are going to buff him, they need to be ASAP, quickly before they release like lots of 15x stuff like that. Maybe guarantee event in the future because people need to know this champion is worth it or not. Obviously, champion, collecting all the 6 team with champion going to give you some extra reward. We are talking about outside of that, I believe, right? If you are going for this extra event, then you're not going for the champion. You need to collect them. Bro, like his multiplier is bad. Like I watched the big Drog video. His build was very good actually. He wasn't ever blessed, but still very good build. He's just not hitting up, man. It's like Fatalis, like back in the day, like you mentioned, Monster Hunter collaboration. Fatalis is also bad and stay in the bed. They didn't buff him, I believe, right? Do they buff him?
They gave him a small tweak before the event was over.
Yeah,
wasn't crazy, and a lot of us were like, "Oh, they'll buff him down the line. They'll buff him down the line." Here's the thing: with limited time champions, Plarium is not enticed to buff those champions, right? Because once they're gone, you're never going to be able to purchase those champions again. You're never going to be able to get them again. I mean, we got Ninja, so I can't say never. But they're more prone to buffing champions that they've released. Like, I'm not saying that Odin needs a buff. Odin's already pretty broken and a pain in the ass. But they're more prone to buff those types of collaborations that they do or those type of events that they do as opposed to Shredder, because a year from now when a new player comes in, they're no longer, accessible to them. So they can't make them crazy champions. Sorry, continue.
Let me tell you like that. Like they did a Fatalis guarantee event, right? Back in the day. Deck of Fate, I believe.
Yes.
I watched his video on the test server. I watched the Fatalis video, stuff like that. Well, he looks pretty trash to me, so I skip it. And shortly after that, they did a 110 Void Shard guarantee Narcissus. So this is how I got my Narcissus by skipping the Fatalis. Do I regret? Hell no, I didn't regret, man. Like, to be honest, I believe they're also gonna do guarantee for the Shredder. I like him, bro, but man, he's so suck, man. I mean, his multiplier is terrible, so I don't know what to say to be honest. I hope they decide to buff him and they will announce it pretty quickly. So, just gonna say that. But currently, not worth it, no.
Okay. Let me ask the free-to-play players out there that are in the chat. Are you going to go, if they gave you a guaranteed Shredder, will you go for it? And I want to know, are you going to go for it just because he's a limited time champion or because you're hopeful that they will buff him down the line or you'll find some case use for him? I obviously the pay to win players, if it comes up, they'll blow the $200-$300 for the guaranteed, whatever it might be. But I'm really keen to see what the free to play players are going to say here because, again, being a limited time champion, you kind of let the FOMO set in. Jay, what about you?
Yeah, me personally, if they do release Shredder, because I'm a fan of other, non-meta champs or, champions that people don't really like because it's OP. Maybe like not a one-shot like Jorgid or Narcissus or Taras. I've actually looked at his multis, and during that testing the gear was really good, but there was some things still missing that you have to add to his kit. They could change a little bit because I looked at Timid, right? They're both HP nukers, and I tried to see, okay, how much does he have on his A2? How much Shredder does, A1? Shredder's more of a scaling character, just like Fatalis, right? They shred the enemy's defense, and over time, it gets stronger. It's like when you do the event dungeon, if you don't go and one-shot the boss ASAP, Shredder actually will kill solo champions. Like I had 6-star Lokis, I had 6-star Blizzards, I had champions trying to solo in the event dungeon, and he would actually shred their defense or eventually one-shot them. I'm like, whoa, and I'm 6-star blessed with 100k and like golden elixir, and I'm like still getting killed. It's crazy. Now, of course, a boss has higher HP than most of us can build our champions. But I think over time, I think Shredder actually can kind of come back. I don't think right now it's not as crazy as having like a Leonardo or Taras. But I actually will go for Shredder because after looking at his whole kit and looking at other stuff, you got to bring Perfect Veil. You got to have some blessings. You got to have a different tactic. But overall, he was hitting decent. He just kind of like against these insane mythicals or other champions, it's only getting hitting for like 30, 40K, which is not crazy. We want to see hundreds Ks and things like that. So they could tweak a little, like 0.3, 0.2, to make him like at that like good level like everybody else, right? Like Leonardo Taras. But I am definitely going for him if they do release a guarantee because I didn't get Fatalis. They kind of told us at the end that they were going to do again a guarantee. They're like, no, we're not doing it. And then they changed their mind. I'm not getting screwed like that. So I'm definitely going for Shredder.
Okay. And Chad, I want to put a little bit of context here. Jay is the type of person that will level a Thrashin, a Tulf the Main. He will actually put the resources in putting masteries, books, all that kind of stuff, just to figure out if they're worth the level. I still can't believe. I don't know if anybody out there has actually leveled a Thrashin willingly or a Tulf the Main willingly for content, not content, but even just to use them, right? So yeah, that definitely puts a little bit of perspective. Gestel, what about yourself? Will you be going for the guarantee Fatalis in hopes that they, not Fatalis, sorry, Shredder, in hopes that they either buff him, or are you just gonna, hopefully just go for the nostalgia type of situation? Gotta have them all.
Yeah, I mean, it's more they gotta catch them all. I could see, like, kind of like Fatalis is actually an absolute menace in Arena. I don't know if anyone's ever come across like a really strong one. If you don't have someone who can get through shields, he can like after a long enough, he's going to kill everybody on your team. He can be really strong. And to Jay's point,
Oh, I think you just froze up.
I thought it was me for a second.
All right.
Clarion said, "Not today." Guess
Clarium's like, look, we know you're about to trash him, so we are going to
like, get the cord.
Get out.
so we know you're faking. We can see the fan moving in the background. No, I'm just kidding.
While we wait for Gestel, why don't I go to PJ?
Okay, so I watched your video you did the other day on this topic, and I definitely agree. I think they got to be careful with making limited time champions too strong, because they're limited. But with not with Fatalis, with Ripper or Shredder, I do think he could use a little bit of a buff, but I don't think you should necessarily go for him expecting a buff. Like, I wouldn't expect him to get buffed, but if they do, then it's like, okay. Yeah, it'd be kind of for like right now it'd be like for the gotta catch them all mentalities, limited time. Personally, will I go for a guaranteed of him? If they have it up for grabs and depending on what you have to do, potentially, yeah, especially because kind of like what Ken mentioned, if you're able to get all of the champions, then you can get a really juicy prize, and one of the rewards is a mythical relic. So I still a mythical relic list, so that would be huge for me. So yeah, I would go for him, but not because he's necessarily good or expecting a buff. It would be more for the other reasons.
Okay. We'll fix that here in just a second. Zero, what about you?
Yeah. Geez, this is real confusing on the screens there.
Can
I had a whole thing. Oh, you know what? My first thing. You mean share my screen?
Yes, share your screen and that'll fix it.
And that'll
Close
fix
the
it.
tabs. Close the tabs.
Yeah, right. Entire screen. You get to see I'm in the middle of Tag Team Arena. Did that fix it?
Yes.
Yeah.
For now until Gestel comes back.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So what happened was, first of all, I'm very offended that the young PJE called it Ripper, not Shredder. That kind of.
That's not the first time I've said it either.
And I think what Gestel was trying to say there essentially was, I think y'all are right. Like Shredder is weak, and when Fatalis Blade Master came out, and I remember they only announced the original ways to get them, and I pulled like 70 or 80 Void Shards, and actually got on like a 10x for Fatalis. I call him Phallic Blade Master, but anyway, for Mr. Fatalis, and we got him. And then they did the guaranteed with the card flip, and I was so pissed because I was like, oh, I'm going to be one of the very few people that are going to get him. And I think, Blaze, into what you were saying is they know how many people have it because the numbers aren't never going to change unless they give it back as like another collab in the future, right? And then I do appreciate the other collabs with like the Thor Odin one, of course, the Queen of Hearts, Alice, and all that, and even the Chaos Awakens. They weren't locked behind the trademark and the promotional, right?
Right.
So I think with this, if you can get him, potentially get him. And one thing I will say, because this what catapulted me into Gold Live Arena at the time when it was really hard before the season started coming out, was I paired Blade Master with Crockmore, and the two of them together would destroy their defense and attack and accuracy and resistance and all that stuff. And yeah, on those longer fights, I want to say maybe a year ago, and gear wasn't necessarily spread as much, and they're both HP based snookers. Is Shredder HP based snooker? I can't remember. He is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's an HP.
So
HP.
yeah, so like, I mean, it's very enticing to say, oh my God, what if I get a third HP based snooker that can also permanently reduce the stats on these closer, longer fights? And I don't know if there's some sort of cap on the back end. I never felt like there was a cap on the back end. Now there's a cap on each champion, but there's nothing that says, hey, you can do 30% with Crockmore, you can do 30% with Blade Master, and you can do 30% with Shredder, and now all of a sudden they lose 90% of their defense. I think that may be game breaking.
That's not how it works. Basically, the way it works is, and I'll put this because I inquired about it. So let's say we'll take defense, for example, right? If they were at 100% defense, you were able to reduce it to 70% with one champion. The next, you're going to reduce from that 70%, you're going to reduce 20% of that 70%, right? So you're going to reduce 14 instead of what you were thinking of from the 100%, right? So it's additive, not multiplicative. I think that, if I'm making sense.
How do they even calculate that when they both take a turn? So like the first one takes a turn and let's just say it's 10%. So they go to 90, then the second one takes a hit, and it's supposed to be 10%, but it's really going to be 9% unless on that next is what you're saying. Just 10% of the 90.
Right. So let's say Shredder goes in and decreases it by 10%, right? So now you're down to 90. Your next champion that goes in decreases it, and his is 20%. So if you're at 90 minus 20%, that's 18. So now you're down to, what is it, 82, right? Math is horrible for me. So
that's fine, but but here's the question though: they still have a total cap of like the max you can do is 30%. It just means you get to that 30% slower, is what I'm thinking.
No, because each champion is additive to it. So you can reduce
I see what you're saying.
You can reduce it with one champion, then the next champion, and the champion after that. But it's going to be percentages based on what is left over, not from the 100%.
Okay, so it's not going to be 30%. It's going to be like 25%, but it's still 25 from this champion, 20% from this champion, and 15 from this champion, and then it's still a big giant chunk that's going to be gone, though, right?
Correct. You can.
Okay, I'm glad we. Okay. Wait. Stop sharing.
All right, there we go.
That work? We fix it.
We got Gestel back.
Sorry. Thank you. Sorry.
All right, so that's good. Yeah. Good clarifying on the back end on how that works. But I still think, if one champ does it to 30, that's fine. But then, a couple of them together or three of them together, you're still going to get it down to like 40 or 50%. I can't imagine removing 50% of someone's defense, for example, and on defense-based nukers, your Stultuses, your Marius of the worlds, that just helps turn the tides in your favor, right?
Right, because I was inquiring a while back about how they decide what goes first, and is it additive, multiplicative? And so they gave me I'll look it up and try to see if I can find it. But they gave me a whole big example on how it actually works. Like decreased defense is actually a primary. And then if you reduce, you're reducing the defense from what is left over, or you're ignoring defense from what is left over from the decreased defense, and additive after that. Of course,
It makes sense that they do it
Bronco
that
says
way.
I'm wrong though, but maybe they've changed something since then. But as far as what I've been told, that's currently how it's supposed to work.
Bronco, do it. I think this is a good test video. If y'all aren't following Bronco, y'all make sure y'all do that. He has access to that test server, and he does some fantastical breakdowns of stuff. So Bronco, maybe this is a good test, and see, what it is, what you think it is. Let's go.
But also big shout out to Bronco. I didn't mean to snub him early. I wasn't trying to, but big shout out to Bronco following us over on the YouTube side. Make sure you guys are giving him a follow, and go watch a lot of his new interesting content that's going to be coming out. Sneak, peek. Gesto, back to you. What were your thoughts?
Just Shredder overall. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, Shredder, and a guaranteed event. Would you go for him in hopes that he is going to get buffed, or is it just a guy to catch them all?
Yeah, I was kind of playing off of Jay's point in terms of Fatalis, man. I faced some Fatalises in live arena. One in particular, man, it is like near impossible to kill him. He is so well built, and if the fight goes long enough, he can't lose. He hits so hard, he hits through everything at some point. So the same thing could happen, not necessarily for live arena, but content down the road. He does seem, I would like I guess the other one is like not that he was a guarantee, or not that he was like part of one of these events, but like Fortis, right? Fortis is like one of those champs who was like kind of like hyped up to us as one of these as like a champ that's going to be good in like long-term fights. I don't think I've ever seen a single person use Fortis. So is he more like a Fortis, or is he more like a Fatalis? Yeah, I don't know. In terms of the nostalgia, I mean, I want to get them all, of course. If there's a guaranteed for them, I'll probably go for it. Yeah, depending, how realistic it is. But I think more so, like, of all the champs, I feel like he's the one you can miss.
Okay. And here's something to note here. Fatalis Blade Master is got some of the worst arena rankings for or any rankings for a mythical for a legendary champion, not a mythical. God, that would be horrible if this guy was a mythical.
Well, and like, I'm not necessarily super upset like that these void exclusive champs that you'll never be able to get aren't like these game changing champs. Like, I'm not mad at that, because then I don't feel necessarily the FOMO to get it. So I don't know, maybe they do it on purpose. I don't know.
Right. And again, even at the champions that they gave us, like He-Man or Xena, a lot of those champions were great, solid nukers. Some of them early on will change your account because it is a legendary, and if you don't have a good nuker, they can come in, or a good counter to champions like Sifi and stuff. Although according to Final Kenpachi, Sifi is absolutely trash right now. I don't know, chat. What do you guys think? Is he right or wrong? Jay's like, yeah, she is. But that said, early on, some of these champions may be good, but as you move further and further on, you tend not to use them because Plarium will just introduce the next power creep. And again, they really don't have an incentive to buff these champions. So when you do go for any of these champions, any of these turtles, understand that the likelihood of you getting this champion and him getting a buff down the line is going to be very, very minimal. You probably have a better chance of winning the Powerball, to be honest. And it's not because they don't want to buff them. I mean, Fatalis is one that really deserves a buff, and I did use him in my Hard Mode Faction Wars team. But because they're locked, because you can't get them again, they're not going to be able to put them out. So just make sure that, you're careful on it. Go ahead, Zero.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, now that we have the free gear removal, though, these champions can potentially get a little bit more viable than they ever used to be. I think I got to the point where I was like, why the hell am I using this terrible Fatalis when I have Taras and the White King Narshis and stuff like that? They should absolutely be getting my better HP-based nuking gear. But now at this point, you can put the best of the best on these types of champions and then remove it and put it on better champions
Right.
easily. So that's just another thought that I just had sitting here. It's like, oh, well, some of these champions that aren't really good, you don't want to put the best gear on them, and now you can. So, to Gessel's point, who has probably faced some really top tier dudes, like you might see more of these in the future, right?
Right. And that, kind of that's what I do when I really got to go. I put my Taras's gear on and I'm good to go. Of course, he doesn't get the same stats as Taras because he's not empowered or high enough blessing. But yeah. Again, my bigger worry overall is that people are going to go in, people are going to go for these champions thinking that they're going to change their accounts, and they're going to be very, very disappointed. And when you get disappointment, a lot of people tend to just say, you know what, screw this, I'm done, I'm out. And it's not good for the community. It's not good for the game. So I really do want people to understand and have some expectations on what is actually going to happen, right? So what you get is what you get, guys. That's really it. That's how we want to kind of go with that. Let's discuss Titus and everybody's favorite content in the game, which is Hydra and Chimera. Man, we have all had the discussion about Titus, and we thought, they came out and said there's possibilities for him to get nerfed down the line, but we're not planning to it. And I've over time came to the realization that this was just basically their way to say, listen, guys, you're all QQing about Trunda. Here, everybody gets a Trundle level based damage, right? As you can see, Bronco in chat is saying he hates Titus. And this is coming from a guy that does stupid amounts of damage, both in Hydra and Chimera. Like, he will manual his keys and is, for the lack of better term, probably carrying most of our clan right now, right? But Titus, I feel, has done the job of making these game modes, number one, very unhealthy, very just tiring and gruesome, kind of dreadful. Let's start off with, how many of you guys out there are running a Titus team, whether it's for Chimera or Hydra? Chat, let us know. Are you running for both, just one? Because it is time gated quite a bit, right? Let me start off with Jay first. Jay, are you running a Titus team?
At first, I was trying it out, coming up with different variations, and over a while, when you get that 3%, that happens, you can't control when it happens. It just really makes the fun of it. Like, you're like, dang, I just wasted 40 minutes. I was like, nah. Like, raid is supposed to be fun, right? Like, that's why we play this game. We're already working to get champs and working to do all these other end game stuff. Like, I don't want to work to have to redo something. No. So I've been working on Throat Ripper, Packmaster, and coming up with different comps like that. And I'm actually breaking personal records literally every week on my account. So I'm pretty happy about that. It sucks that I invest a lot into Titus, and I'm not really doing too much other than Curse City with stuff with him. But maybe I'll go back, but honestly, no, I'm not. I just can't. So I'm enjoying using, like I use Throat Ripper in Live Arena, destroying people, mythicals. I'm destroying it in Tag and Classic Arena, just blowing people in 5 seconds. Classic Arena, it's really nice. Titus is a good answer for people who don't have other answers. Like if you don't have a Trunda, or if you don't have maybe an insane +4 Thor or something like that. It's good for players that have. Yeah, it's bad that everyone's copying catting. It's a very common thing that we've seen in Raid, right? A lot of community wants to do, hey, that person's doing something big, let me do it too, right? And it's cookie cutter. But if you do what you gotta have to do, I understand it. It does suck because it does change our kind of meta, and it's inflating a lot of people who aren't able to do crazy numbers. Now they're doing insane numbers. But that's just the way it is, and people want to be competitive. I've seen it firsthand. I've lost clanmates. I've had drama all because of Titus. So it is a lot of crazy stuff that has happened, and I'm just readjusting. And honestly, I like to use other champs. I just like to not go meta, right? I enjoy using Timid the Full, like you said, Blizzard. I like to do different things. I still don't have Marius. I love destroying Marius. When people invest into their +1 6-star bless and you get destroyed in 2 hits, it's amazing. It feels good. So it is, I will say it is kind of hard to compete with regular champs who I can do like 300-400 million while people are doing 1 bill. It does, like, you're like, dang, there's a big disparity, right? But that's just an adjustment thing. Eventually, you just work harder, grind more area bonus, and eventually you'll get there, right?
Right. So just some examples here. Like you can see teams Titus, and I mean some of them are using Lamasu. Most of these are honestly pretty accessible champions that we've either gotten through fusions, except for Chris. But it just feels like if you're in the end game and you're not running a Titus team, especially for a push week on Chimera or Hydra, man, you're going to be left behind. And then I feel like this is also going to cause a bigger problem with more people complaining down the line that they don't have a Titus, right? Ken, what about you? Are you running yourself a Titus team?
Oh, we tried that last week because chat is asked it, but I mean, maybe in the far future, but currently I don't have a plan. Like the J is mentioned, there is lots of like RNG element, plus it's not like fun to run, and I don't want to do my fight is manual. Obviously, I'm gonna do like auto, and I also don't have a Vixville. I said lots of excuses, but the real problem about it, like there is some counter attack. Actually, I discussed that kind of subject on the last stream. Tranda Titus damage, and there's a counter attack. People was saying like there's always going to be something broken. There's always going to be some champion are very strong, But the current champion like Titus or the Tranda, their damage is above anything. I mean, there is no other champion that can competitive with them. That's the problem. Like you are trying to fly the Mars, but the Titus is like Andromeda galaxy. How we are going to fly there? We cannot, like, unless we have a speed of light, we cannot go there. It's physical impossible, right? Exactly. Right. If enemy clan is a Tranda, if the enemy clan is a Titus, there is nothing you can do. Plus, like you said, Titus was fusion, right? We got the fusion, right? So, but we still cannot say like everybody in the game got the fusion. Maybe people was sick back in the day. Maybe they decided to skip him. They are like, screw it. Maybe they wasn't playing the game back in the day, right? And even the people got the Titus, we cannot force them. Hey, build them. You need to build them. You need to build them like us. You are one of us right now. You have him. It's like we're like maybe he got them for the faction more, which is I did for the faction more. You cannot really force player like that. But currently, because he's broken, it's kind of like forcing people to build a Titus comp. And in my opinion, this is not fun.
Right, and I'm looking here, and there's teams Titus after Titus after Titus. It got to the point where I literally had to sit down. I was not running a Titus team for Chimera, and a unique content creator out there, Bronco, was sending me some voice messages he was making, telling me to pick up my pace and get it done. And I said, well, okay. If he's gonna go to AI and have me call me on,
can I say one more thing?
Right? Yeah, go ahead.
So Titus damage is increasing by the shield thickness, right?
Yes.
Why they nerfed the cadaver?
Because he was a rare.
Okay.
Because he was a rare. That's it.
And it was the A1.
Okay. Then mythical champion need to deal more damage than the Tranda.
I agree.
She's not even Void Lego. She's not even Void Lego.
It also was A1 though, bro. It was his A1 on a rare. It was absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, is there a difference between 20 billion or the 100 billion, Gestal?
Yeah.
I'm just justifying why they nerfed it. I don't think there's I think all this is stupid, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, if I could get what I need to get out of these chests, I'm good, bro. Like, I don't need to be putting up dumb numbers, but in certain clans, you got to do it, whatnot. But
Right. All right, Zero. I know the answer for you, but are you running a Titus team?
Yeah, the answer is no. Your boy ain't got no time to even look at this stuff. And I think that's more disappointing in the inconsistency across the board on all this stuff. Like, sometimes they release champions and they get tested right out the rip, and they realize it's broken and they make changes to it. There were some shield champions. I think Wixwell even got a change and stuff like that. And then they already knew this was out there, and obviously Trunda. They're like, oh, we're never gonna nerf Trunda, and they end up nerfing Trunda, but then nerfing the entire game mode, and that really pissed the community off, right? But I mean, something needed to be done because they introduced this ranking thing where 4th and 5th place don't get squat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really weird that they go, here's our new champion. Oh, it's broken, and we realize it's broken. In the past, we fixed champions before you can get your hands on them, but we're not going to do it with this, and we're going to let it go as is. So like, they intentionally just break the game again, and it goes all over again. And I think it's frustrating, for the clans at the top, or like Ken saying, hey, if you can't even build it because you didn't get the Wixbill or whatever, like, there's a difference between flying from Earth to Mars and flying from Earth to the next galaxy over, right? Like,
right.
I don't know. And I'm honestly, I don't have the time to do it. So maybe I talk to y'all, and y'all, between you and Bronco that are in the clan, and y'all want to take over and figure it out. But again, it's I think the other piece, and I think I don't know, but whoever said it, I forgot which one of y'all said it, was like, I don't even like doing Chimera now and failing after manualing it for an hour, because, and again, it's auto until you get to right before the poison thing, and the poison's so ridiculous too. So I don't even like having to redo my work there, and on some of the rotations I have to do it 4 or 5 times just to do it, and to the point now where I'm like, screw it. And I think this week I said, screw it, I'm 400,000 short of getting the best chest. Screw it, I'm whatever.
Right.
Yeah, call me out, I don't care. I ain't got time.
Don't worry, we will. I know we've been talking back and forth about getting together and trying to optimize your teams a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just time, man. Real life.
Yeah.
And Raid just needs so much, right? So
I erased a minimum of 10 to 15 hours a week from what I had prior to with my new job. Going from work from home to commuting in the office 4 days a week. Now, luckily, I get Friday from home, but still, that just erases, 10 or 15 hours I had in my pocket prior to this new job. But you got to do what you got to do for the family, right?
Right. And so, again, that makes, with Titus now, we're all in the end game pushing, trying to get this done. We have to get that team. And the thing is, I know that it was, I forget, come on, what was his name that did the video saying that it was just too much to ask. Oh God, I can't remember the content creator's name.
Nubs?
Nubraids, yes, thank you. That is like, listen, this is what the clan is requiring. You have to push this, you have to do this. And the thing is, it's not healthy to be in that state, right? So definitely, I feel like this is going to be a very big problem, especially because everybody had the opportunity to get him. And we've gone through some of the teams here, and you can see almost everybody is running a Titus team in some sort of way. And now when you're adding it on top of Chimera Clash and Hydra Clash, you're talking hours. And if you're not happy, you're just like, I'm trying to get more and more and more. And I guess this is going to be a good question for you, Gessel, because you recently, moved up in tiers with clans and are a much more competitive clan than what you used to be in. And how is this working for you?
Yeah, well, Frank, Handy's the leader of the CHQ, and he doesn't typically require too much. Like, there's some enormous, like, my account is a baby in this clan. So what my account does is like kind of nothing compared to a lot of these other ones. Yeah, there you go. You get to see some. But he's really cool about it. Like, that's CHQ too. That's not the one I'm in.
No, I like. Yeah, no. That's a
No,
second
that's
string,
not.
guys. That's not
Yeah,
me.
that's
That's a
Amazing. Come
second
on.
string. Wow. Wow.
Well, I'm just saying. Oh, Trace Sam's a beast, bro. Trace Sam is a beast. Yeah, so Handy's really cool about it. There's certain accounts that basically can move the momentum, like, oh, maybe we'll push, maybe we won't. So there's really no super requirements. That said, I do like to perform well regardless of what is required of me or not. So I did build a Titus team. It's nothing crazy. It's full auto. I don't have to even look at it. Like, I can walk away, come back, and it runs. It runs very smooth. Just for Chimera. I don't care about Hydra. I have 3 decent teams for Hydra. I run them. I don't run a Trunda team. I don't run a Titus team for Hydra. But for Chimera, it's more about building my account. I need the relics. So I really need a strong Chimera team. So basically what I'm trying to do now is either what I'd like to have is one Titus team and then one team that can basically give you that 4-star basalt, whatever, and get all the relics, basically all the relic mats. So it's more so to just try and better my account. I feel like that's the only real way we can get these kind of, I don't know, relics and stuff. So not only way, but weekly way. So I've got to push for. I got to push as hard as I can, and I've got the champs. If it's full auto, I don't care. If it was manual, I'll never manual Hydra. I don't care about Hydra at all. But for Chimera, if it's to help out my account, and if it's helping the clan out as well, that's great. But yeah, I'm being a little more selfish, I guess.
And I just want to say something real fast too. And for inconsistency's sake, to add to that point, is it okay to go ahead and start adding Chimera to the live arena where the affinity bonuses now? It's in every other area of the game. Like, why can't we have Chimera?
Oh, it'd be so nice.
I mean,
but I feel like you have gear for Hydra, and I know we got free gear changes now, so that shouldn't be an excuse. But you get the extra 20% ignore defense, you get the extra accuracy and resistance, and so you can build more stuff if you're trying to land debuff. So I feel like Chimera is sitting there without that affinity bonus, and you have to build higher stats to be able to complete it and stuff. And they're just so inconsistent with what they provide to us in the game. And I get it, this is their new content, but it's not new content anymore. And now they've released this whole Titus thing and broke it. Like, who gives a crap? Give everybody 20% ignore defense, 80 accuracy, 80 resistance to help us do a little bit better on the Chimera.
Though, is if they do that, these scores now are going to become that much bigger. And then you are now going to feel the pressure of, for me to compete, I need to have this, I need to do this. So what's that going to entail for you? You're going to have to start doing more live arena, right? Because that's how you get it.
They want people to do live arena, so
I get you, but it's, I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here and saying that I don't think we need it, at least not yet, right? I think
not everybody's got an in-game account too. There's 70% of the people with mid-game and early game accounts, and they look at Chimera and think, I'm not going to be there for another 2 years at this rate.
That's true, but I mean,
and they can do Hydra in a year.
Let's face it. Raid, unless you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars, isn't a game that you're going to go from 1 to 1,000 in a split second, right? It's you're gonna build up over time, and even if you do spend money, it's the RNG element behind of what you get, when you get, how you get it. That's still all going to hold you back to be able to get to this. So, I think on that situation, people need to understand that it's gated by time in some aspects, right? PJ, what about you, man? What are your thoughts on this current situation with Titus?
So I do run Titus on Hydra. I also run Trunda on Hydra. Manual. I don't run them on Chimera, even though I have seen some pretty good Titus teams with trials now, which is kind of scary because that was like one of the downsides was you can't really get trials with Titus, but I've seen some combos where it's pretty good both, and depending on the week, you can get some good mythical materials and basalts also with the crazy damage. But personally, I'm still going for just pure trials and specifically like the mythical materials and now the basalts in Chimera. So I don't really like it there, but Hydra, yeah, is definitely another thing you get to look forward to every week if you're in one of those top plans to manual every week. I say look forward to sarcastically. But yeah, I don't think anyone really likes a manual. It's just something that kind of we have to do now to get the high scores. On the flip side, though, if you don't want to see those high scores, it's going to be kind of tough. But if you can convince your clan to not run Titus and not run Trunda, after a month or so, eventually you'll start lowering your overall score, and you'll be facing other clans that are in the similar bracket that are also probably not using the Titus teams or the Trunda teams. So it might take a little bit of time, but you can eventually like lower your overall scores. But yeah, I don't know. As for a late game player, oh, there's like a hair in my mouth. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I think trials are super important for Chimera, specifically the mythical materials. And now that they're adding the basalts, I would really try to focus on getting those. But for Hydra, yeah, he's definitely solid. He's competing with Trunda, not obviously like the one percenters, the Trundas are still better, but I would say for the average person, Titus is probably gonna be a little bit easier for them to build.
Right. I agree. So this was the team that I was running last week. I managed to make it full auto, and it worked for me. And prior to this, I had to manual my Titus key, and halfway through, like Bronco was saying, the RNG craziness behind it is just so bad. I just like the 3% that happened, and your Titus gets his shield stolen, and you're just like, okay, cool. We're at turn number 59. You couldn't just wait 6 more freaking turns to, not do this, and you do it at turn 59, and he steals the shield even when you have resistance cap. He has definitely changed the way that we're going to be playing any of these clashes. And I guess to PJ's point here, we're going to have to start thinking about, a little more strategically on weeks that we push and weeks that we just push trials, right? Either we're going to push damage and sacrifice the trials, or we're going to just push trials and sacrifice the damage and take the loss. And that is a strategy that we do use in our clan. And it really depends from week to week on what we do. Overall, though, look, I'm not calling for a Titus nerf. I think Titus is fun to play with. He does a lot of things for a lot of people's accounts. He opens up a couple of big things, which is going to be, finally actually getting the 8 billion per week so you can get some extra gems, even though they're rare. Plarium, you should probably think about upping these a little bit here, maybe giving some basalts or something, because the rare gemstones are just absolutely doo-doo. Oh, what, you don't like my idea?
No, I don't. I like your idea. I don't like the rewards now.
Blazing said it.
But I feel like that. And then, he does the same thing for Hydra. Hydra, he gives people the opportunity to get to 1.2 billion if they can't. And, it doesn't require a lot of crazy things. Like Bronco showed us in one of his earlier videos, you can literally use a blood shield accessory if you have the time and patience to get yourself a solid key. Now, let's go from Titus to Sam Solstice. And I guarantee you right now, Sam Solstice just looked around and said, what's he talking about? But let's give a big shout out to Miss Sam Solstice here, who has decided to bring some fun to the community. And, we've done a couple of these content creator games here. But this isn't just for the content creators. This is for everybody out there. This is for the bragging rights. The RSL Global Leaderboards are hosting a Epics only quick battle, and we want to see who can do the most craziest damage. Now, I've seen some screenshots out there looking at the RSL leaderboards, and I mean, there are some teams out there that have done like 1 billion damage with just epics, right? It's like a 2-hour run. But again, that's just crazy to think about. We have some teams like that where, Titus is great, but we got epics that can do this. So maybe Titus deserves a buff. Chat, what do you guys think? Should we ask for a buff for Titus because we've got teams that are going to do crazy damage? So here's what has to happen here. Epics only, we've got from, correct me if I'm wrong, it starts on the 10th, and then the last day, Sam, where am I going for the last day? What is it? I should have been a little more prepared for this. I think it runs for 2 weeks. So we've got another 10 days, if I'm not mistaken. I'll get you guys the exact date. October 1st. So, okay. So we have till October 1st to come up with a epic only team to try to see how much damage you can do. You can only enter into one bracket at a time. Honestly, you got to go for Nightmare. If you don't, it's great to get the bragging rights to be top and brutal and hard, but we all know that we want that #1 slot in Nightmare. Let's talk a little bit about the event. She is going to be giving out some goodies, courtesy of some of the content creators. I know Bronco, I believe it was Nupkex, Boozer, Scratch, and myself that are donating our rewards that we get from Plarium to the community out there. So I want everybody here to go ahead and sign up for this. I'll put the link for this in the chat, both on the YouTube and Twitch side. Make sure you guys go look. Even if you don't have a crazy account, we all know that players like 4-0 came in with and I still remember, I was trying to find the screenshot, but he came in with an ultimate Gaelic and just destroyed us in the creator clash that we did, right? Guys, ultimate Gaelic, where's this guy? Who the hell uses ultimate Gaelic anywhere? And he came in and did 194 million, and this guy was his main nuker, right? So it's crazy. That said, let's talk a little bit about some ideas that you guys can use. And chat, I want to hear from you guys. What are you looking for in a specific champion? Like, who are you imagining to be your #1 nuker as an epic champion? Like, what is going to be your #1 pick? Gessel, let me throw it to you first. I know you guys are all busy, and I'm going to encourage all of you guys to do it. And for the ones that do it out of the content creators, I'll give you guys a special little gift. I won't tell you what it is yet, but I want to entice you.
I want to know first.
For all they know, it's like, oh, what? I get $1 for doing this? No.
Pat on the back.
That's right. You get a good job. But let's talk a little bit about some strategy and team compositions and champions that you'd be looking for. So what's like a standout epic nuker for Hydra that you would want to use? Gessel.
Well, not to go based off of that picture, but someone had, or the image of the event earlier. Someone was telling me before that Phoenix was doing like absurd numbers in Hydra, and that A1 can do some crazy wonky stuff. So I would definitely say Phoenix, like, a +4 if you got I like to say fully loaded with the with the 6-star blessing, everything. I would say he'd probably be a strong candidate to bring, unless it's like negative affinity or something. But
right. And here's the thing, now that we've got epic champion empowerments, there's really no holding us back, right? Obviously, before we were complaining, oh, it's too squishy, it's too this, it's hard to build them. But the epic champion empowerments that we get, and without the free, with the free gear removal now, we can put some of our best gear on some of these champions. So again, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I do urge a lot of the player base to go in and get yourself that bragging right. And then, I'm talking with Sam here also, trying to get whoever wins, I want them to come on and kind of discuss with us their strategy and thought behind getting these teams, right? Ken, what about yourself, bro? What do you think as a standout nuker for only Epic's team?
I agree with the Gestalt Phoenix can be good, but not normal Phoenix, guys. Like +4 Phoenix with the 6-star blessing.
Okay.
It's you still kind of need a 6-star blessing there. And I actually Whisper can be nice. Whisper is also great.
Whisper? Okay.
Yeah, Whisper is also great damage dealer on the Hydra. Oboro is the another one. Again, like
Oboro,
6-star +4. Yeah, they are massively good actually for the epic wise. The
Okay.
hack can be good. Decrease defense, decrease attack, and the provoke debuff, which is he bring you 3 things. It's not great, but I mean it's epic only. So
right. I'm looking
Yeah.
here. Chat's
Shamel, of
talking
course.
about. Yeah, well, I think Shamel is going to be the number 1 pick for almost every single team,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Oh yeah.
But
Shamel, yeah.
Dandrill,
His multiplier is very good.
Oh, he's phenomenal, man. Like, I used him for hard mode faction wars, and I was surprised that he just nukes so hard. So definitely one of the good ones to bring in. And hard mode faction wars, scaling for the damage output that the bosses use is up here compared to where Hydra is. So survivability wise, it's definitely not a problem. And it's like that single target nuke, which is his A2, I believe, or his A3. Sorry. Ignores 50% of the target's defense. That's huge for an epic. Let's go to Jay. What about you?
Well, I mean, most of the common ones, going to be Phoenix, Whisper. They're an interesting choice. I was thinking, you got to have champions that have other things as well, like just nukers. That's interesting. Because there's also some strong things you got to add too. Like Inquisitor is going to be there for the fear, but also to nuke. You need Ugo. You need other champions. Of course, people are going to use Royal Guard, probably Husks, of course, right, for the enemy max. But also Husk is a little bit more tankier than Royal Guard. Royal Guard is probably going to just fall over unless you put insane gear on them. I think it's kind of like a mix. You have to some champs will be doing some damage, and then some will just be straight nuke. But if you build straight nuke, you might just fall over. Right, Wrathhead's going to come out and literally just demolish everyone. I mean, I get demolished on legendaries, right? That is going to be interesting to see what other nukers that people are going to use. I think like Ultimate Galek, things that bring more than just damage, bring debuffs, certain things that will ramp up over time and give more damage overall, right? But I would like to see things like maybe another champion like Pitless One or someone else, right? Like someone that you don't really see that has really good multis, but this is a good situation where they have a 7 multiplier and you're just boom and try to hit a Hydra head, decapitate it, and try to get some big numbers, kind of like Whisper. I think that's going to be very interesting to see that.
Okay. And the thing here is usually we look at legendaries and legendaries will plug in 2 or 3 holes. You got to think about, okay, well, now we got to deal with Poison Cloud as well, too. So we need somebody that's going to place an HP burn instead of hit with the HP burn. You also need somebody that's going to be able to hold the head of Mischief, right? So you do need a Hex, and then you got to make sure that you keep a Provoke up, right? So this is going to be kind of intriguing to see what kind of champions we're going to be bringing in. Chat saying Silex, Jizzo. I do know, I think it was Ash that did a video about a fully empowered Jizzo, who I think will definitely work on a manual team. Because the other thing that we have is the AI issue, right? We don't know what the AI is going to look like. Let's go to Zero. What about you? What are you thinking for a damage dealer for anything out there?
Yep. So I think what everybody said has been pretty on point. I'm going to go with one of the older strategies, and I don't know how viable it is with the Hydra changes that have come out of the China piece that we were just talking about. But one of the goats, man, if you put Geomancer in the
Mm.
front, and you pair him with your boy Shamel,
Mm-hmm.
he boosts the crap out of Geomancer in that number one spot, and he can get those burns out on multiple heads, and his passive will reflect all that damage back onto them when they get to going. Now, again, I don't know how valuable this strategy is with the new Hydra changes, and I have replace this strategy from back in the day completely, right? Just with better champions to pull. But I don't know, just to think outside the box a little bit. Maybe old Geomancer with his passive and with the combo of Shamel boosting him to take a lot of turns. And again, you're right. Free gear changes. I always say cleanse, but free gear changes, and you get his Geomancer in your arbiter gear or something like that is super fast, and Shamal's boosting them. Like, you can have 4 burns out and doing crazy stuff. So it'd be interesting to take a look at. I don't know if it's again, you'd have to test it and make sure it's a valuable strategy today, but that's what I'd kind of lean to test out.
I like that, and I think if you put him in like a provoke set for like the A1, turn off the A2, he's going to be basically, A3, A1, and if he's getting boosted, at least that'll give you a little bit of a coverage on keeping the head provoked, or you could put him in a curse set and use it that way as well too.
Yeah.
So
and you made a and you made a great point. You do turn off his A2, but fun fact, if they do steal your buffs, that A2 is when you manual it, you bail yourself out by removing those buffs that he steals from you too. So Geomancer's a great slot if you're going for an all epic team, and of course Shamel too. So
right.
Yeah.
Sam said Shrank, and oh my god, I slept on this guy for so freaking long. I want, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have done hard mode faction wars for the Organ Tribe. He was like the top tier nuker. I was always like, oh yeah, Siege Hulk this, Siege Hulk that. Bro, Scrank came in and was just demolishing everything left and right. Chad, I want you guys to start thinking about supports next, because I need some ideas on supports on what I'm going to do here for the team. I hope you guys realize that this is me actually trying to bait information out of everybody what they're going to use.
Yeah. No. So I'll go first on a support
utility. Can you let PJ answer?
No. PJ is always right, so he didn't get a chance to go. No. Go ahead, PJ.
Go ahead, PJ. What you got?
So yeah, I think like what a lot of you guys said, you didn't really necessarily say it directly, but you kind of said it indirectly. It's really all about the 6-star blessing. Blazin also failed to mention this, but that Supreme or Ultimate Gaelic had a 6-star blessing on him, Crushing Rend. So really, you want the 6-star Crushing Rend. It makes a big difference. The +4 is nice, but any nuker that's gonna have that 6-star Crushing Rend is gonna give you an insane amount of damage boost. So I would lean towards that. See which nukers have 6-star Crushing Rend and go from there. Because it's going to help out a lot.
Hold on. It's going to help out a lot, but it's not like, even if the champion has crap multipliers, like they still have to be a pretty solid nuker to be able to enhance that. Like the Crushing Rend just enhances the damage that they put out based on what their multipliers are.
Right.
So, even...
Look at Ultimate Gaelic or Supreme Gaelic. I mean,
right, but what I'm saying is, like a 6-star Crushing Rend on like a Husk isn't going to be...
That's an enemy max HP. Like, yeah, obviously.
Well, again, it's not going to be as crazy as it is on like a Shrank or an Inquisitor Shamil type of situation as well, too.
Obviously, because he's not enemy max HP. No, they would be amazing with 6-star Crushing Rend. Run it without it and see what the damage is.
Well, they're for the A1 and the A3, but not on their big nukes. It's not going to be...
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right, I mean, so those enemy max HP, so 2 champions, yeah, it's not going to be as useful. For every other champion, that 6-star Crushing Rend is going to make a big difference.
Right. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so personally, I would say I lost that battle to 4-0 because he had a 6-star Crushing Rend on his Gaelic, and I did not have 6-star Crushing Rend on mine. I mean, that was the damage difference. So, yeah, I would say that's a huge... What?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I would say that's a huge thing to factor into is which nukers have 6-star Crushing Rend.
Right.
I think Siege Hulk would be good. I think Gala There was one other one that I was thinking of. Oh, Dothy, I think could be really good too.
Dithia or Dithy?
Miss Rider Dothy.
Dithy. Okay. Yeah. Definitely agree with that one. Miss Rider Dithy is crazy. So this is one that Sam just sent me in, and this is kind of what we're looking to compete with. And this is quick battle. That's it. Quick battle, 367 million damage. Supports. I mean, I was already thinking Ursula. She's got an AoE revive, strengthen. Ugo, definitely a must. But what are we thinking about supports here, chat? Are we thinking anything else crazy? I mean, I know Godseeker and Neri is kind of good to come in as a oh shit type of situation. Let me throw it to Zero because he was a little antsy to answer that question.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, Ugo is kind of like a good one in there, and then I think even after this free to play series, like Tagore really stands out as a really good support champion and can bring a lot of buffs and of course the revive to the team. One that's kind of like hybrid in the middle that I don't know if too many people have ever used, but I like Frenzy because she does bring the HP burns and she brings a provoke. And again, she's probably more of a damage dealer or hybrid utility slot champion, but just thoughts.
Okay. This was a shout out by being useless for Fraxton. Inflicts an enemy. Attacks one enemy, inflicts 100% more damage against targets without any buffs. That is interesting. I wonder, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown. Her A3 attacks one enemy. Each hit has a 50% chance of stealing one random buff. Places a block debuff for 2 turns if the target has no buffs after this. And then the A1 attacks one enemy, has a 40% chance of placing a decreased attack. As that might not actually be a bad as a single target contender here. This A2 right here is very, very interesting depending on how much damage you can put out. Jay, what about you? What are you thinking for a support, man?
When we say support, do we mean like a support healer or support debuffer?
And anything.
I would say probably one that's probably because Ugo, of course, Ugo and Ursula are amazing. I use them on the Consecrator challenge with 4 epics and only Packmaster and Shayak. So I would have to say I don't, because some people might, maybe I shouldn't spoil this one, but I'm gonna use this other one. Why Dried Nia? Why Dried Nia allows to if we're gonna be bringing epics, right? You're gonna need a champion who's gonna have to soak up that damage, right, from the Wrath Head and everything else. She has that, and then she has synergy. Now you can bring other relics, right, and blessings that can help out, like you can have like shields, right, with a blood shield ring, then use emergency shield, then you have her passive that heals everybody else as well. She can heal with her A2, reset people, so if you need more nukage, right, she's really, really good. YST and some other people would say that she's really good epic, right? I actually think she'd be a really good pick, on top of the other ones. If you don't have, let's say you don't have a really good Blessed Ugo or you don't have a really good Blessed Ursula and you have a really good Wide Dry Nia, I would definitely say look into this.
Okay. Yeah, I know Bronco's a huge fan of her, especially for a lot of like the end game comps where you need to have the cooldown reduction. He loves her, and his thing to me was always just bring in White Dragonia, put it in a curse set, and that'll make your Chunda team even better. And he was right. He was right. PJ, what about you, man? What are you thinking about a support for this?
I think there's a lot of good supports. I think Skaramis could be a great support for this. I think Ostrox could be a great support for this, who brings block debuffs, he brings a cleanse, increase AC. I think there was another one that I saw. Who was the last one?
I'm sitting here trying to figure out where Skaramis is, what faction.
Skaramis is High Elf, I think.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Oh, right. He's got the provoke and the counterattack, right?
Yeah, provoke, counterattack, continuous heal can be your mischief tank. Also has decreased attack. Ostrax is really good. He's what? I'm not sure. He's undead, I think, or Knights Rev. What is he?
Ostrux.
Yeah. I can't.
Which I know Necro Hunter is not going to be one of the champions that we bring in, no matter how much you try to make him work.
I forgot the other one, but I think those two would be good supports.
Ostrax, yeah.
Yeah, look at his kit. He's solid.
Okay. Attacks all enemies if 3 or fewer enemies are alive. Has a 75% chance, books up to 100 of placing a block debuffs on each enemy for 2 turns. If 4 or more enemies are alive, has a 75% chance, books up to 100 of placing for 3 turns. Interesting. Not a lot of champions place it. So I wonder how that mechanic would work though in Hydra. Because technically a decapitated head is still alive, right? So I wonder how that's going to work. That's actually a pretty solid idea. And increased accuracy as well too. Removes 1 random debuff for all allies and places a 50% increased accuracy for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. That actually, Plarium, what the hell? That is huge for a cooldown turn. That's 4 turns? Jeez, can we get it into a 3-turn or a 2-turn? Okay. Gessel, what about you? What are you thinking about a support, man?
All right. Well, everyone is throwing out a lot of really good ones, so I had to go searching a bit just to throw a couple different ones out. An oldie and a goodie. The oldie, Umbra. She's got AoE block buffs, and she's got the provoke. Could be really strong there. I know a lot of people used to use her. Kind of fill those 2 roles. A new one. This dude, I think people have talked about in the past, maybe being decent here. I don't even know how to say his name. Narox Blackhorn.
He's new.
Skinwalker. Yeah, he's kind of brand new, right? He's got an AoE provoke, reflect damage, ally protect, and A1 decrease speed, and his passive also throws out a provoke. So he could be a strong candidate too. Just to throw out some other ones.
Okay. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was part of the Titus Fusion Epic.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's actually pretty good.
I remember my other one. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think Gishgard, the Sigil, could be kind of cool. He's
Really?
got provoke and increased defense, increased attack, maybe.
I have like a +4, and I don't think I've ever used them. Like, I look at this guy and I'm just like, he just looks like a joke.
Guy.
Which one? You said
Gishgard. Yeah.
Where am I? Oh, right here. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think he just looks like a joke. But what does he got? He's got attacks 1 enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a decreased attack for 1 turn.
People like
attacks
all
all
Faction
enemies.
Wars.
Really? Okay. I mean, he's got the provoke on a 3-turn cooldown, 100%. Also places a shield buff on this champion for 25% of the max HP for 2 turns. Survivability, and also can make him the mischief tank too. And then places an increased defense and increased attack on all allies for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. Fills this champion's turn meter by 15% whenever they're attacked by an enemy under provoke. Interesting. Aura faction.
I really
perks.
like him in Sin City. Yeah, he kind of shines in there if you get to use him.
Interesting. I mean, I've got a whole bunch of these epics that are fully empowered or blessed, and I like her, I've never used her. I've got her as a +4. Lady Quillen, another one. After the Lady Mikage fusion, I've got like a +4 fully empowered. I don't use her. So maybe we'll have to bust out some of these and kind of see what we get for numbers. All right, so we already got a preview of the 367 million team over here, which is Shrank, Royal Guard, Ugo, Ursula, Husk, and Inquisitor Shamail. And I want to ask you guys, where do you see the damage being? Do you think we're going to get higher than this? Do you think we're going to get closer to like the billion mark? How high do you guys perceive that the damage is coming in on this event? Chat, let's throw some numbers out and let's see what you guys say. And Gessel, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, some of those huge accounts with some of the big brains behind them, I probably pump out some crazy numbers if they really wanted to. I'd imagine. I'll take a throw. I'll take a go at this. I think it'd be some fun.
I
I don't know if I could do anything like this, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
okay. So we got a commitment from Gessel.
Yeah.
PJ, what about you?
That's a very solid team for sure. I think you could get definitely more damage. That's not fully like plus. There's the husk isn't +4. You can still get a little bit fully like awakened. So there's still a little bit of room for damage there. Um, yeah, maybe top 450 to 500 million, maybe. I'm not sure how much more damage you could get out of it, but I definitely think people could get better than that key. But I think that's definitely a solid one.
And it's crazy that we're talking about an all epic team doing 500 million when some people can barely still one key with just full epics. But I think this
Yeah.
is actually going to make it, kind of spark up people's curiosity and, not shy away from leveling particular epics, right?
And that's, I mean, obviously, that's like, I'm thinking of like a really one of those massive accounts decides to do it with like the crazy gear, and they really decide to swap all their gear over to the epics and give them relics, give them like cat's gazes, like if they go all out for it. Depends on how much people really want to go all in for this.
Well, the one thing we do know about the raid community is we all enjoy bragging rights, and if you could be number one at something, that's why we all throw down for CBC, right? You got you got certain clans that are just like, yeah, no, we're never losing. Zero, what about you?
Yeah. If Bronco's going to do this, he's going to exceed $1 billion for sure. So
Ooh,
good luck
okay.
to anybody else that gives that a go. It's
You
going to
think
be
$1 billion
Bronco and
before?
everybody else struggling to get above 500
you're saying a
No
billion
way.
before the multiplier?
Yeah, I think have you
Really?
seen what
Damn.
Bronco can do with shit? He's gonna min max this puppy. He's gonna take the time to do it. Just trust.
All right, Bronco, you're on the spot.
Hey, I might not have the time to do this. I know Sam wants us all to participate. I will see what I can do. I'll just no promises. But if I was like betting on the ponies, I would bet on the Bronco. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
my money's all in on him.
All right. Jay, what about you? What do you think? What kind of damage we'll be getting out of this?
Yeah, there's a lot more damage to get out of this. There's some good champs here, right? Like 2, 3. Probably going to see a lot of reoccurring, right? Like Inquisitor, you're going to see a lot of Ugos, Ursulas, things like of that nature. But there's a lot more, right? Phoenix, there's Whisper, there's a lot of Oboros, there's a lot of other nukers and other strategies you can use with this as well. Like we were saying, with White Dryad Nia resetting people and doing more nuke. Maybe even like with Fat Man sending out people, right? Like with Phoenix sending out to a decapitated head. Like just imagine all the different things you can actually get. So I would, this is probably going to be easily on average, probably 750 and up to a bill. If you of course put the right blessings, the relics and of that nature, make sure you're manualing. Full auto, I don't know. Maybe there's some players out there who can get that big, but if you manual, you can definitely get some crazy numbers.
Well, this has to be auto, right? It has to be done via the what's it called again? Sorry. Quick battle. That's right. It has to be done via quick battle. So the RNG is ever not in our favor here, as we all know. To quote, what's that? Hummingbird or whatever that movie is. Ken, what about you? What are you thinking for damage?
700 million maximum.
700 million maximum. Okay.
It's a quick battle, right?
Quick battle. Yep. Has to be quick battle. So 700 million maximum. All right. So
But are we talking about nightmare difficulty or nightmare?
I mean, we got to talk about the highest, so which has got to be nightmare.
Okay. 700.
700. Okay. I will say, guys, one of the key things here, especially because we're using epics, is making sure that if you're going to submit your team for hard or brutal, make sure that you're speed tuned for that content, right? Don't try to take champions that are going to be like 330 speed for nightmare and try to use them in hard, because they're going to waste their abilities when the Hydra heads are not decapitated and they have Serpent Swell on them. Real quick, let's give a quick just pointer on one of the things that the community for anybody who enters into this event should actually, keep an eye on. Like I said, making sure that they're speed tuned for the right type of content or the right type of level. Let's go to PJ first.
I'd say the biggest thing is just realize that this is for funsies. Don't go blowing your account, wasting all your resources for this.
Whoa. Silver doesn't cost us anything to remove gear.
No,
Maybe
but like if you're
relics.
swapping like relics, you're doing like blessing changes, if you're doing stuff like that. Yeah, obviously the gear swapping is free, so that helps out a lot, makes it a lot easier. Yeah, speed tune, make sure you have enough accuracy for whatever content you're doing, make sure you have enough res. If you're doing mischief tanks, give it a little bit more because HH is figured to I think 95% versus like the 97, so give it a little bit more than what they say there for the accuracy and res. Yeah, have fun. It's supposed to be a community thing, bring people together, try some different stuff out, especially for testing, and see what you can get.
Awesome. Gessel, what about you? What do you have as a suggestion for the community out there? Any tips?
Any tips? Use all of your champs that have all your damage dealing champs should have a 6-star blessing.
All my damage. Okay.
I think Crushing Red is too strong, as to whose point was earlier. To their point earlier. Crushing Red is too strong. Yeah, it is seriously crazy how good Crushing Red is. Like, I have just to put it like in Lego sense, like I have enemy max HP, like a Crizia with a 6-star, and whoever my other enemy max HP, like they don't even come close. It's ridiculous. Newt versus Crizia. Like the Crushing Red just adds so much. It's crazy.
Right. Jay, what about you?
For people who want to, because this is a good competition, just remember that you might not reach what you want. Sometimes you might be like, yeah, I'm going to be able to do this, and then you look and you're like, dang, I'm getting half of what you thought you're going to get. So just keep that in mind, but also think of different strategies, right? Like different champs you might not think of. If you have someone +4 that's not meta epic, like these top ones we've been talking about, try looking at their multipliers, see if they have a really good A2 or A3, or maybe you want to use like a Basilisk for his AoE A1 and try to use that and get yourself extra damage that way. Do things like that to help yourself out, because you might not get the same as somebody else who might have more investment to their area bonus, who can easily do 500 million full auto, but you might only do 200 million. So just have fun with it, I think, in the end.
Okay. Zero, what about you?
Just the tip, huh?
Really?
Let's see. Oh, I mean, you're asking for the tips. I'm giving it to you. Let's see. What happened was, just have fun. Just have fun with it. Yeah, that's what I think. And I think JR raised a great point. Is like, if you go into this and your numbers aren't even what don't get discouraged. Just submit it, have fun. I think this is just really cool that we're coming together as a community, kind of doing something outside the box. And just shout out to the people in the content creator program to kind of donate their rewards to incentivize people to do this. I think that's really cool for you guys to do. So and thank you for Sam for coordinating this. It's awesome.
All right. Guys, I think Bronco was the only one that didn't really catch what he was saying until like way afterwards. Everybody in
he's
chat's
innocent.
Like, really?
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's about as innocent as I am. Ken, what about you, man? What do you got for a final kind of send off on what tips they should use? Not tip.
Farm the ice column for the reflex gear.
Okay.
Cooldown reset is huge. So
Okay.
that can help a lot.
The last thing I'm going to say is try to get 100% crit rate on even your supports if you can. because that will definitely help out. Any little bit of damage you can put out just to squeeze it, right?
Also,
That's-
be careful with running all your keys and then saving your keys for your actual teams if you're gonna quick battle.
Yeah, screw that. I'm gonna manual all my auto teams on my other teams just so I have as much quick battles for this as possible.
You heard it here first, Chad. You gotta keep them. You gotta hold them to that.
Yeah. I will. I'm gonna.
You gotta
I'm
stream
gonna,
it too.
I'm gonna. Yeah. Do I look like I got time? Do I look like I'm like 25
Streamer
years old?
didn't happen. Streamer didn't happen.
Still living at home with mom and dad, streaming twice a day. Do I look like I got that time? No, I'm just
Maybe.
joking. Yeah.
So
no,
I did think of one other thing just real fast is don't forget about your gear sets, right? Like if you're struggling to get a provoker or a hexer or a burner, obviously burner you need, but don't forget about those sets. Barb
Right.
stop with
snap.
the raid.
Hard stuff
Bam.
coming in with
Big
104 raid. Thank you very much, guys. Huge shout out to Farbsoft, the creator of RSL
Oh,
Helper, the guy
Helper.
who makes this game bearable for us to play. And I swear to God, if when this goes down, it is such a bummer because I'm like, damn, I can't play raid. So huge shout out to Farbsoft. Thank you very much for that, brother. So let's give some shout outs. Let's give some call outs on where people can come and find you. Ken.
Hi, Lucky and Pachi, both Twitch and YouTube. We are streaming at the Clubhouse reset time. Thank you. Also, thank you, first of all, for the raid.
Jay, what about you? Where can people come and find you?
On both YouTube and Twitch, Jarastar3.
Awesome. Zero, where can people come and find you?
Come check me out on the YouTubes and the Twitches. I stream live on Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. Central Time.
Awesome. PJ, where can people come and find you?
MXPJE, Twitch, YouTube. Come check us out.
And the bot lied. It's not 68% love. It's way higher. It's 100%. Gestel, what about you? Where can people come and find you?
Yeah, Gessel Gaming on YouTubes and on the Twitches.
Awesome. Let's do some shout outs here. Let's go to, let's start off with Gestel. What you got for a shout out for me?
I was going to shout out my man, King Copium. He's been doing a great job every other week, filling in when Jay is not here. So go over there, check him out. Looks like he's playing some Borderlands, but also a great raid Shadow Legends streamer. Go check him out.
Awesome. Ken, what you got for a shout out for me?
Shout out our new streamer friend, also our clanmate, Fiapchex. He's so close to reach the 50 follower, guys. I'm gonna leave this link over there. So thank you.
Awesome. Jay, what about you? What you got for a shout out for me?
My shout out this week will go to Mobile Gamer on YouTube.
Awesome. PJ, what you got for a shout out for me?
We'll be giving a shout out to B-Val and Tony Brain. They're awesome doing the live arenas. Very knowledgeable. Trying to help out as much as possible.
Awesome. Zero.
CSQ, yeah.
He's like, Zero, what about you? What you got for a shout out for me, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I got to do Farb Stomp. I mean, the links are right there to do it. But don't forget, chat, again, RSL Helper, the creator, and in there is a little thing that says donate. So don't throw him a few bucks, man. He doesn't do this he does it to help the community, I guess I should say. So can't hurt to throw. If you can buy a gem pack, you can throw him a few bucks every now and then. So look him out.
Agreed, man. I can't imagine playing Raid right now in this day and age without RSL Helper. It is an absolute must, especially for gear cleanses. My shout out is gonna go to Sam Solstice because hey, the overall experience of Raid has been very dry, very just kind of boring. We haven't had anything to kind of fire us up. And the YouTube community, the community of us, the content creators between Twitch and YouTube is small, but it's very tight. And so when a lot of us, when something happens to one of us, a lot of us feel it. And just big shout out to Sam for taking on the global leaderboards, for keeping that up, even though, guys, Sam has not been playing Raid for over, I want to say, 5 months. yet she's still active in the community. She is still keeping up with the RSL leaderboard. She did not just drop and go. So make sure you guys go over on YouTube and go in the Discord for the RSL leaderboard. Show her some love, interact with it. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a segment. I'm trying to get her to come on the podcast. She promised me that I'll be the first one up, but maybe if we get, I don't know, like 2,000 likes on the YouTube side, we could get her on the podcast. What do you think, Sam? Is that a guarantee? Can we get that done if we get 2,000 likes? You know, I think we can manage that. That said, we've talked about a lot of things. We've talked about Titus. We've talked about the challenges here for the Hydra Clash. And I hope that next week, Plarium doesn't go in the worst direction possible. I hope that they move us somewhere better. They've been doing better and better, little by little. Of course, they outshine. The good things are outshined by a lot of the bad things they do, and hopefully we don't keep down that trend. That said, we are going to raid out to Mr. Big Head Mike BMX. Make sure that we go and wish him a happy birthday when we get over there. Oh, it looks like we cannot raid him because he actually just stopped streaming. So let me, bad timing. Let's go ahead and who else is streaming, boys and girls?
Grim,
no, okay.
Undead.
Let's go Undead.
No, he's still streaming.
Is he still streaming? Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I went to go raid him and it wouldn't let me. So let me try.
I think.
Let me try that again. Let's go back in, raid a channel, and he's still streaming, right? For some reason.
Oh, he had an issue. You can't raid him. I tried raiding him a few weeks ago. He has raids turned off or something.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that explains it. Wow.
Yeah.
So that said, we'll go raid Mr. Undead. Make sure when we get over there, we wish him a happy birthday. I think he's still on. Where did he go? Did he just log out? Oh, there he is.
He's there.
Okay. Make sure we wish him a happy birthday. I know I took too long editing this, but make sure you guys wish him a happy birthday when we get there, as we all love to do after we leave from the Knights of Teleria podcast. Guys, thank you all so much for hanging out with us for these wonderful 2 hours. We look forward to seeing you guys all again next week, same time, same place, 2 p.m. EST. As always, much love, much appreciation. Be safe.